Hello, I'm Dr. Dave Gentile, and thank you for tuning in to North Hempstead's TV Senior Meals Program. We are broadcasting here from the North Hempstead Yes We Can Community Center in Newcastle. It's the third regional Aging in Place conference hosted by the Town of North Hempstead's Project Independence and Town Supervisor Judi Bosworth. So today, we're going to talk about cooking. If you notice, we don't even have any heat sources going here. We're going to be talking about how to prepare foods that are quick, easy, inexpensive, and most importantly, nutritious. So the first thing we're going to do today on this particular episode is we're going to do an Asian tuna salad. So why did I pick Asian? Well, first off, it kind of steps out from the usual, right? You go get a tuna salad, typically has mayonnaise and celery and onions. Let's step away from that and let's try some new things. Mayonnaise is loaded with saturated fats. Of course, there's a lot of sodium in that and things of that nature. So that's why we're going to do an Asian tuna salad without any mayonnaise whatsoever. The other thing we're going to do is get some vegetables in there. We're going to get bell peppers in. We have a beautiful red bell pepper, an orange bell pepper. We're going to put some red onion in there. And we're going to just go with a light seasoning. So it's a very simple recipe, very healthy. The other thing we're doing is we're not going to be using a chunk white. We are using a chunk light. And it's packed in water, and the reason for that is it's a misnomer. Most people think that white, perfectly good-looking chunk white is better for you than the chunk light. Truth be told, the chunk light actually has a lot less heavy metal potential contaminants in it. So that's why I'm going to use a chunk light today. So let's really get started. So whenever I cook, I always want to make sure that I have everything out, everything's been washed, everything's kind of just ready to go, because you're not going to be running back and forth to the refrigerator or this, that, and the other thing. I think the best thing is a clean kitchen to start with. You start with a clean kitchen, you end with a clean kitchen. So let's get started. So what I did here is I just drained some of the chunk light tuna, okay? Always drain that extra water out, because what's going to happen is when you put your seasonings in, if you left the water in, it's going to dilute out the flavorings. So we have a great little red onion here, which I like because you get a little bit more flavor, and in cooking, eye appeal, I think, is everything, right? So a white onion in that salad really won't show up too much, but a little red onion will. So we're gonna use that. So what I'm doing today is I brought 3 different knives. I have a serrated, I have a beautiful little paring knife, and I have a cleaver. If you notice, I do not have a chef knife with me today. I just want you to see how you can cook with just about any knife in the kitchen. You don't need Cuisinarts and all these fancy gadgets that sit in the closet forever. So with the onion, always cut very small slices so it's not overpowering. Now the one thing I love about onions is it has something in here called alicillin. Alicillin is antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal. So the way the alicillin works, it's also in garlic, is after you chop it, you let it sit for a little bit, and all of those essential oils come out. So we're going to just chop up our little onion here. Okay. Now, some people don't like a very strong onion flavor, and what you can do is after you've minced it and chopped it, all you need to do is put it in a little china cap, which I'll show you what that looks like, and let it drain out. So this kind of mesh thing is great. You put the onion in there, rinse it under cold water, and you're good to go. So let's get the onions in here. Now we'll have some recipes available to everybody after the fact. So we're getting our red onion in. So now we're going to move on to the bell peppers. Now bell peppers, I'm not using green. A lot of people don't digest the green bell peppers so well, but when they're ripened in the different forms, they're definitely easier to digest. But another big thing with those is that you get the carotenoids and all these delicious, delicious, healthful antioxidants. You're not going to get the same amount of that in a green bell pepper as you would the different colors. The different color spectrums is very important in nutrition, okay? So if you're just doing a green and a red, not going to be the same as if you start bringing in colors. So we have an orange, which is a lot gentler flavor, and the red. Okay, so let's get these diced up, chopped up nice. And again, everything we've done here is been pre-washed, and it's so easy and fun to cook. And I do often recommend what you do is work with your family, friends. Don't just cook alone. If you can, invite somebody over, cook together. When I do parties at home, very rarely do I actually do all my cooking ahead of time. I like to have everybody part of the process. So here we go. This is super simple. We're almost done here. And you can pick and choose different recipe ingredients. For example, if you can't find seasonally delicious bell peppers in this nature, you can replace it with broccoli, or you could even put cabbage in this if you wanted. Yellow cabbage, white cabbage, or even red cabbage. So we got our vegetables in. I love cilantro, so we're going to use some cilantro in this. And again, this has been washed. The cilantro is a chelating herb. So what does that mean? Chelate comes from the Greek word teeth, chelate. It pulls out toxins in our bodies, heavy metals, things like that. So it's really a great thing. And if you ever had coriander, it's in the same venue as the cilantro. So right now what we've done is we got all our chopped vegetables in there, onions, we got our herbs, and we're gonna just dress it up. So this is tamari. Tamari comes in two different styles, low sodium, high sodium, or sodium. This one is just your basic. Now tamari is like soy sauce, but it's kind of like the equivalent of a real true good red wine versus maybe a quick down and dirty red wine with the cap on it, okay? So this has actually been brewed. A lot of soy sauce is not brewed anymore. Okay, so put a little bit of that in there. And this is sesame oil. Sesame oil can come with different flavorings. This is toasted. The toasting brings out that nice nuttiness of the sesame seed. So get that in there. As you notice, I don't do a lot of measuring, but we'll put some measurements on the recipe. I think the passion of food, if you start measuring, it just takes away from it. That's why I'm probably not so much a baker, because I don't do a lot of measuring. Okay, we're going to put a little bit of black pepper. You don't need sodium in that because of the tamari, very specifically, and also the tuna fish tends to be on a saltier side. Now you can make this ahead of time. You could serve this as a salad. You can serve this as an appetizer. You can put some chips out. You can put some crackers out. If you choose to be gluten-free, you can put gluten-free crackers out. Or an excellent thing, and I even use this for dinner sometimes, is I take the Boston lettuce cups and I make cups. So you can actually take this salad and put it in a cup, either for an appetizer or lunch, or have a few of those for dinner. Okay? This is, I mean, so easy here. Here we are doing it on a makeshift set that we put together for this special event. So you can make this salad any which way you want, anytime, and get out there and explore with it too. Okay, so this is really as simple as this gets. You have a simple salad with, just look at these beautiful colors here, okay? We have the tuna, we have the two different color peppers, you have cilantro, that green pops out at you, the red onion. Super easy, quick, delicious, and nutritious. And the greatest thing here is that you can pick and play with this. Now you could even take chicken, right? Get some chicken, chop that up, whether it's fresh grilled or whatever, and you could even use these flavor settings together. And when you start cooking, what is a great idea to do is start going, you know what, these flavors work together, these flavors work together, and then you can use them with different proteins and different entrees, but get creative. Even if once a week you go out and buy one new spice or one new herb or one new vegetable and say, let me figure out how to bring that into my diet. Because we do want variety. We want variety. If we keep eating the same thing, some people actually develop allergies. I have had patients and all they do is eat chicken. Chicken, 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 chicken. Eventually your body goes, well, can we have something else? Can we please have something else? So vary your diet, vary your diet. And you've all heard this, I'm so sure. Shop around the outside of the store, leave the center for the kids, and technically we shouldn't even have them in there. We want to be going around the outside. You get your fresh dairy, you get your meats, you get your vegetables, you get your herbs, and all of that good stuff. And please remember, join your friends, cook together, get creative, have a cookbook club. watch cookbook or cooking shows on TV. There's a lot of fun things you can do with cooking. So I'll open it up if there's any questions from the audience today in regards to what we made, or just general cooking and or nutritional questions. You may taste it, yes, yes. Go ahead, sir.
How do you wash your vegetables and fruit?
Okay, so you can use like a white vinegar with water and do it like that, or you can buy the enzyme spray. So it's just really a matter of, do you have access to a health food store that has a good enzymatic cleaner, or you can just use water with white vinegar and break it down.
Even with organic, a person must wash.
Absolutely.
Organic.
Absolutely. You should wash everything. I even wash meat before I use it. Chicken, beef, fish. And the important thing is, if you do, in fact, wash a protein, such as, let's say, you're having chicken cutlets, you have to do a water and bleach afterwards on all your cutting boards. So what I'll do is, you can just do maybe like, I personally like do a 8-part water to a 2-part pure bleach. Put that in a sprayer bottle. Don't get it on your hands because it's not good for your hands. Bleach, just good old-fashioned bleach. Don't get anything with smells in it or scents or anything. Just plain old-fashioned bleach with the water. It's a disinfectant. So you could spray that on your cutting boards. Now, do not put it on the meat. But after you're done with the chicken or the fish, you spray down the whole counter area, get rid of any contaminants. But when you're washing your meat, cool water, and then what I like to do is put it on a plate and take paper towels and pat it off. Because if you're going to grill something or saute something or even bake it, if it's got too much water content, it takes longer. You're not going to get that nice crisp finish, right? So definitely dry it off after the fact. Even with vegetables, if you are cooking with them or you're draining them, make sure everything's drained well. If you're using greens, get yourself a salad spinner. It's the best investment ever. And the way to properly use that is, whatever greens you're using, you fill that with cold water, take the bin out, the spinner, you put everything in the cold water, and it's almost like being down at the old river washing your clothes in the olden days. Then you pick those up and out, you put them in the spinner basket, put the spinner basket back in, and spin it, spin it, spin it. And that's a great way to get rid of everything, okay? Especially if you go out to the farms this time of year, which I love to do, going out east, a lot of the greens have some sandy content to them, right? Because they're grown close to the ground. If you do it the way I'm saying, the sand drops to the bottom, the greens come to the top, you grab it off, you put it in the spinner, you get rid of that water, and it's great. So me being Italian, I like broccoli rabe and escarole and baby spinach and all of that. And if you're going to saute it in garlic and oil, again, that olive oil, excellent source of monounsaturated fats. The garlic, similar to the onion, has that alicillin, which is antiviral, antibacterial. And the greens, you just can't go wrong. Low glycemic, meaning they don't release blood sugar very quick. Thank you for watching. For more information on the town of North Hempstead's Project Independence, please call 311 or log on to northhempsteadny.gov.